a 6.81-inch, 165Hz refresh rate with a cooling fan and transparent looks. Could this be the coolest looking gaming phone ever? This is my unboxing and review of the RedMagic 6S Pro Ghost Edition. Let's have a look. Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again, and here with the brand new flagship from RedMagic, the RedMagic 6S Pro, but not just any version, guys. This is the top of the line version with 16 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage. This is the Ghost version of the phone, which means it has an incredible transparent look through the back, and there you can see all the specs of this device and just what a stunning look this phone does have. In fact, RedMagic has sent me not one but two of their units here to take a look at, and this is the standard edition with 12 gigs of RAM, and this is the Ghost edition with 16 gigs of RAM. So starting with design, at 9.8 millimeters, 220 grams, I'm so used to these kinds of dimensions now, especially with these gaming phones. And in the unboxing, I did look at the regular version of the phone, but using the design of this Ghost version, very unique to see the internals of the phone, although I don't know if these are the actual internals or if they're just dummies to show off the key spec highlights of this phone, but there you see them. It is truly a beastly phone, and when you turn on the game fan, you will see it lights up on the back. That is a cool feature, I gotta say, and a very unique look. If you want to spend the extra money for design, you're going to want to pick up this Ghost version of the phone. It is truly spectacular. And looking at the front, we have pretty small bezels, top and bottom. They're pretty uniform, which I do appreciate on gaming phones. All in all, with this Ghost version of the phone, they've taken it up a notch from the standard edition and really made this a pretty spectacular looking device. And design is definitely one of the highlights of this Ghost RedMagic 6S Pro. Display, and we have a 6.8-inch 165Hz refresh rate on this phone, and it is buttery smooth, guys. But what makes it even more smooth is the 720Hz touch sampling rate, the highest that I've seen on any phone on this channel. And the viewing angles look good with DCI-P3 color gamut and up to 700 nits of max brightness. Smoothest refresh rate I've seen on any phone other than maybe the ROG phones, but this is definitely at another level. No complaints on the display of this RedMagic 6S Pro. And with L1 DRM info, you're going to have a great time watching content on this RedMagic 6S Pro. The display looks bright and beautiful and ready for any content you throw to this phone. It's an L1 party here on Frankie Tech. Performance, and we have the Snapdragon 888 Plus 5G capable with 12 gigs of DDR5 RAM, 256 gigs of UFS 3.1 storage, and there's no denying it, this is a beast, my friends. 16 gigs of RAM is just total overkill, but let me tell you, you're not going to run into any issues with the speed of this phone. But what about the Antutu performance of this RedMagic 6S Pro? Well, what we're going to do now, guys, is do my mini Antutu throttling test, but we're going to turn on, there it is, RedMagic Game Space. And here we are in the lobby. Here's where you'll see all your games. We're going to add Antutu to this gaming list. Here we go. And to set up the gaming, to make this the most extreme mini Antutu throttling test of all time, we're going to go to Infinite. That's right, Infinite mode, maxing out this phone completely. This is the highest settings you could ever test this Snapdragon 888 Plus. This is going to be intense. 24 degrees in this room. Let's get started. There you see it, folks, with a score of 878,000. This is the new highest score I've ever seen from any phone ever. And I think this does take the throne as the best Antutu score, surpassing the Black Shark 4 Pro that has held the top spot for the last 6 months. But let's go ahead and double check just to be sure. We have a new number one, folks. We have a new number one. But that's not how we do it here on Frankie Tech. We're going to do a second Antutu throttling test on this phone and see if it can hold this incredible score one more time. Here we go. So it looks, folks, the RedMagic 6S Pro in the middle of the second test of this Antutu throttling test might have crashed. It may have overheated. I'm not exactly sure what just happened. And let me tell you, this phone is blazing hot. But how hot is it? Oh boy, 45 degrees, 46, 45. And let's check the back of the phone. And there you can see where the actual fan is, 43, 44. And you can feel the heat coming out of the fan over there. But I do think this fan has helped quite a bit, but not enough to get through with extreme mode here on this second test of this intense Antutu throttling test running at infinite mode. But that doesn't take away from this incredible score here, 878,000 on the RedMagic 6S Pro, the new champ of Antutu for 2021. And speaking of that fan, you can see this thing is really cool. I love the transparent version. I don't think the regular one has this internal lighting, but you can see it there. It just whirs away and it reminds me of those fidget spinners that you used to play with a couple years back. Very, very cool. And of course the fan has been increased from 18 to 20,000 on this generation, so it will provide even more cooling capabilities. You know, I wasn't really a believer in cooling fans in phones in the past, but let me tell you now that phones are really overheating and we're seeing Snapdragon 888 suffer from overheating. I do think that heat sinks and cooling fans are starting to become more of a necessity, especially on gaming phones like this RedMagic 6S Pro. And with a 5050 mAh battery capacity and up to 66 watts capable fast charging, you'll be able to top this phone up pretty quick, but most importantly, you have an all-day battery performer. I haven't run into any issues. This phone has easily lasted me a day of use, and even with heavy gaming throughout the day, I still have had around 30% battery at the end of it. So pretty solid battery life on this gaming beast. And this RedMagic 6S Pro is using an optical in-display 7th generation fingerprint scanner. And let me tell you, it is super fast, super responsive, no issues whatsoever with this fingerprint scanner. There you see how quickly it gets into the phone. And this fingerprint scanner includes heart rate detection as well. In terms of vibration motor, it's pretty solid, but I will say I do like the vibration motor on phones like the Mi 11 Ultra a little bit more and the iPhone 12 Pro Max, but I think it still offers a pretty solid vibration motor experience, especially when it comes to gaming. And you'll have all the latest comms on this RedMagic 6S Pro, including Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.2, 5G, SA plus NSA dual mode for up to 3 GPS upload and 7.5 GPS download speeds. So this is truly a networking beast as well. But what about the audio speaker test? Dual speakers on this RedMagic 6S Pro through the earpiece and a dedicated one here at the bottom. Let's point the mic forward and have a listen. So all in all, very good sounding dual speakers. They don't have the same punch in terms of bass as maybe the Mi 11 Ultra or the Mix 4, but I'm very impressed with the clarity and the details of the music you can get. And I think in gaming, it's going to sound really good. A very immersive speaker experience on this RedMagic 6S Pro. And talking about the cameras, we have a 64 megapixel AI quad camera setup on this phone with 64, 8, and 2 megapixel cameras on the back and an 8 megapixel front camera on this phone. And let's face it guys, you're not really buying this phone for the cameras, but you have a very quick shutter as you can see, producing some pretty solid shots both day and night. And here's some of the samples I've taken on this RedMagic 6S Pro. This is rear-facing video shot on the RedMagic 6 6S Pro, shooting in 4K, 30 FPS, and right against the sun, but now we're shooting facing the sun, not towards the sun. Nice views here, guys. Great weather. Hit me up in the comments, what do you think? And this is front-facing video on the RedMagic 6S Pro, shooting in 1080p, 30 FPS, and enjoying a little beach time here, but I figured I might as well get the video shots out of the way. Super bright, great contrast. Hope you guys are doing well, staying safe, and hit me up in the comments, what do you think? But of course, a review of this RedMagic 6S Pro would not be complete without a little bit of Genshin Impact. And we're going to go max settings on this device. Let's do it. Here we go. And we're going to go highest settings, 60 FPS. There we go. But we are also playing infinite mode on this phone. Look at that, clocked out. Max CPU, GPU capabilities. And wow, guys, this thing, you just have to see it to believe it. It really plays this game beautifully. And the touch response is just incredible. It is really in games like Genshin Impact where you can feel the pure capabilities and there you can see zero stutters whatsoever on this phone. It just looks incredible. And of course, let's go ahead and set up the trigger buttons here because we do have those as well. I don't normally play trigger buttons with this game, but let's go ahead and try them out. Touch buttons are saved. Here we go. Oh yeah, there we go. Let's see if we can find a bad guy. Here we go. Here we go. Take that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. Booyah. Oh yeah. He's all gone. And that was easy. You can definitely feel the fan now. It is definitely warming up a couple minutes into this gameplay. And checking with the FLIR camera. Even after just a couple minutes of extreme gameplay, this phone is doing all right. 41, 42 degrees, nothing too serious. And the Snapdragon 8 and the Snapdragon AAA Plus does get pretty hot. You can see it from the Antutu throttling test. The overheating did close the test. But all in all, guys, this is a true gaming beast. And what better way to finish this test off than do a little bit of Just Keep Swimming action with this new game that I'm playing all the time. Just Keep Swimming on the RedMagic 6S Pro. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Woo! Oh yeah! So that's it for this video and my final verdict on this RedMagic 6S Pro. I gotta tell you guys, I definitely was wondering if this phone was gonna be able to top what we've seen from RedMagic previously, but once you factor in the 165Hz refresh rate, you factor in the larger 6.81-inch display, really solid design. I mean, if you can pick up the Ghost version of this phone, it is stunning. You know, the cameras, I think, could be a little bit better, but let's face it, it's really not the reason why you would pick up this phone. To a buttery smooth display and performance that, let's face it, is now the best performance of any phone that I've ever tested here on Frankie Tech. I don't know what the launch price of this phone is going to be, but I'm pretty sure it's going to come pretty aggressive for the 12 128 gigs of storage version, and this, the 16 256 version, will probably be a little bit higher. And yes, you know, my typical complaints of Nubia still are here, even though I will say they are now improving the software. It looks a little bit more smoothed out and a little bit more stock. All in all, for what it's bringing to the table in terms of raw specs, I don't think you can go wrong with this RedMagic 6S Pro. It is truly the beast of beasts in the gaming phone department, and if you can pick it up in this Ghost variant, then you'll love it even more. Check links in the description, and thanks once again to RedMagic for sending this one out. But hit me up in the comments. What are your thoughts on this RedMagic 6S Pro? And do you think this is now the ultimate gaming beast of 2021? Hit me up in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. And that's it for this video. If you liked it, give me that thumbs up. And if you love the content of Frankie Tech, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon for future updates. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more great devices. We're just getting started. September is going to be hot here on Frankie Tech. So that's it. And this is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech signing off. Have a good one. Such a cool bag. You gotta get the ghost, baby. You gotta get the ghost.